Welcome back, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm Gerald David.
And I'm Kitty.
And this is 2Aprons. Today, we have something yummy for you. Something yummy. And this is kind of a unique one. I always look forward to doing something I don't typically do. But it's garlic and ginger turkey meatballs.
With sweet potato and apple curry.
Not turkey balls. I was corrected. Apparently, there's a big difference.
We just want you to be clear about what we're eating.
That's right. Here is some mighty creme la fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
I like La
Very
Fraiche.
beautiful. It does sound better, I'm not going to lie.
That looks yummy. That's some
The
curry
powder? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more like a curry paste, but... I don't... What is this?
Panko
Cheese?
breadcrumbs.
Oh, panko breadcrumbs.
The one I let her do.
Oh, wow.
No, that was horribly bad. I shouldn't have said
that. This is sesame seeds. Again, we had those the other night. Very delicious. I love all things sesame. Is this soy sauce?
It is.
He actually prepared the box tonight, so I did not read these things while they were in their packaging.
No prep work.
I'm a little confused. This is an apple, though. I do have that one.
Yeah, and she proved on Fries Talk she knows what this is.
An onion! Watch our episode. It's fantastic.
Fries Talk on YouTube. Shameless plug. Self-promotion. #
2 Aprons, a YouTube cooking show. Fries Talk. Okay. And a sweet potato, because I didn't hold that up initially.
Bok choy.
Bok choy. I love it. It's delicious.
Alright, I'll wash these guys. If you'll set these ones to the side.
Sure.
So we have room for chopping action.
Chopping broccoli. Chopping bok choy. Ooh, that works. Ooh, and I spilled paint everywhere.
That's alright.
I was singing, it happens.
It does happen.
Sometimes my musical ability and my coordination are not, sometimes they are mutually exclusive, I guess. Then we get that done. Bye-bye, Pinto.
And so the first thing we make is actually the sweet potatoes on boiled water.
Yeah.
So we can almost,
sweet potatoes first.
I'd almost say we can get a pot of boiling water going.
We can. Do you want to dice the sweet potatoes?
I will.
I'll get the water going. There's a knife for you.
Thank
See how I did that to him with the
proper
handle?
way.
Because if you watched our last show, I didn't necessarily do that.
And I showed you the proper way to counter someone who doesn't do that, so it doesn't turn into a whole thing.
You body slam them. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me free this. There we go. And you? No, you just ask him to set it down.
Don't ever body slam someone with a knife.
That's right. Don't body slam people. We're too old for all that.
We definitely are.
What am I medium dicing this?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I will first cut it in half.
Did you need this bowl?
You can kind of set it here. We will need it. There will be a mixing component.
Ooh, a mixing component.
A little bit later.
It's exciting.
Dang,
to mix things.
Sweet potatoes are hard to cut.
I have seen him meat cleaver a sweet potato before. Yeah, like that. That's where I was going with that.
Yes. I even sharpened these last night in anticipation of.
Oh, he cracked it. I heard it.
Sweet potatoes are just super tough.
They are. That's why I let you do them. I'll grab those for you.
Thank you. Yeah, don't cleaver. Yeah, don't cleaver your hand, y'all. Take your time. And it's better to go sharpen your knife than it is to fight your knife. Don't sit here and try and force it to. Have a sharpener.
Because one of the things, like the last time I cut myself cooking, it was because I was holding something and the knife literally just slipped, and instead of, it just went somewhere I hadn't anticipated. So it's definitely better to know that, it might take longer, but you're being safe about it.
That's right. No one wants to go to the hospital during these times.
I never went to anyway. But
no, that's
especially not now.
But even those among us that were proactive in that regard don't want to now. It's like, oh, here we go, getting this done.
Because who doesn't love a good Friday night at the ER, am I right?
I know, right?
We're not in high school anymore. It's not fun.
Tool time.
Tool time. There you go. Oh, we are not going to be the cooking version of Tool time.
No. So we got, I bet, did we put salt water in here?
I did not put salt in because, my not
doing on this eye.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Boom. Awesome.
That's funny. That's
now,
funny. I'm just kidding.
On the picture, it shows it sitting in the thing, but that's for draining purposes,
that's
right?
That's
like
when
it goes
drain
into the water.
We're not like steaming it or anything weird. It's gonna go into the water.
So because it goes into the water, I'm gonna drain some of this out. Otherwise, I think it will be too close to the top, full. So this way there's actually room for the potatoes. Boom. So I'm doing like almost halfway. Because it's not a lot of potatoes really. This will also decrease the amount of time it takes to boil.
So just in my defense, the directions do say fill it 3/4
Oh,
of
no,
the
no,
way full.
no, you did it right. Not in your defense. She did it right, y'all. I'm trying to persecute. She ain't making me out to be all meanie.
No, just one of the things that like has allowed me to actually like people to be impressed with things I've baked over the years. Because again, I used to bake. I never cooked, but I baked. Is my ability to follow directions.
Oh, no, yeah.
I feel like I was always very astounded when I started baking that people would be impressed by the things I created, because when they were like, did you make this? It'd be like, yeah, they'd be like, oh my God, it's amazing. And it'd be like, I didn't write the recipe. Like, I was always very confused. I was like, no, I literally read it and followed directions, and that's what happened. So it took me a little while to understand that that was also impressive sometimes.
Yeah. Well, remember back in the day, you didn't have YouTube. You actually had to read someone's very poorly written directions. Like, they were actually pretty horrible.
I did have cookbooks, though. So, again, it wasn't like... I just want to help.
I like it. We can go ahead and do the apple.
And these actually don't boil for too long. So,
They
like,
don't.
your medium dice could probably be a little bit,
Smaller.
generous. Just in general. If you have big pieces that maybe didn't get diced.
The apple, they typically wanted you to use a like a shredder. Am I using
A grater.
A grater.
Yeah,
That's the
it
word.
says to grate it, but as y'all know, we don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not a religious thing. It's not like a social thing. We
Yeah.
just we have not bought that particular utensil at this point in time.
Well, and apples are one of those things that like they barely have a core. Like you pretty much just can chop them up real small, get the seeds out.
Which is what we do with everything it says to grate, and we have yet to
Yeah.
be burned by that. So
Yeah, it's not really hard to avoid.
it might change our cooking time a little tonight because we're actually going to put the apple in with the sweet potato for only a couple of minutes. So we might want
Yeah.
we're gonna dice it small. So I don't really
Super
think it's gonna be
small.
like a huge thing.
Yeah, super small.
I do core apples
I like
though.
that. I like that better.
Oh, thank you.
So pretty much, I'm just gonna chop
Are you gonna?
this.
Do you mind if I core it? Like, can I please core it? I really hate apple core. It I don't like it texturally.
But apple core doesn't even really exist.
No, it
See
does.
that? No, it doesn't.
It exists. Can I please
No.
core it? Can I please core it?
What are you gonna core? What are you talking
I'm gonna take
about?
out this tough part right here where the
Okay.
seeds are stored.
As you see, we both have very strong feelings about apple cores.
We do. I have strong feelings about everything, to be fair.
So we did our little Google battle where we each go to our phones, and we didn't want you just staring over the shoulder as we just very intensely read things.
And then yelled sources at one another. It's
But we have figured it out. We were both kind of right, and we're both kind of wrong. For health gut reasons, there's healthy bacteria in the core, so it does actually say that you should eat the core. But to her point, there is a core. It does exist. It's a thing. So I am gonna cut out where the seeds were. I mean, you see our water's boiling behind us, so we're almost ready for the sweet potatoes.
And no matter your opinion on the core, like Gerald David did teach me something which I was not aware of, and that is that apple seeds can be poisonous. Now it's usually in large amounts, but basically when you break them down or ingest them, the degradation turns them into a very tiny amount of cyanide.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a fun fact for you: don't eat apple seeds.
Yes, or mainly where that comes into handy is don't let your animals eat them because of the apple seeds. They may not be smart enough to spit them out. Most kids will spit seeds out if they're aware.
Also, don't grind them up into like a pie or something thinking you can just use the whole thing, because that's where it gets iffy. People start getting stomach aches and stuff. Like it's not super awesome.
So we're gonna finally chop this because remember we originally wanted us to do it grate it, but I pretty much just go ham on it. Are we at the point where we want to add the sweet potatoes?
It is
boiling water?
almost there.
Okay, getting
It's
close.
not at a rolling boil, but
Getting close. Will you hand me a fork?
absolutely, you're doing that so well. Those things are like paper thin.
It's just because I sharpened this last night, so it's actually
it's
doing
doing
its
good.
part.
There you go.
Which is why I'm giving
All right,
them
I
my
am
little...
gonna grab the sweet potatoes now because you can
All
hear
right.
that boiling away behind us. So we'll get those in. I'm always great at dropping them in. It's very dramatic for me, so you don't have to put the drama in it, but you know.
That's right. I like to. A little... Bam.
I'm a relatively dramatic person, so it works for me. And I'm setting a timer for those. It's at 8 to 10 minutes. So we'll do 9 because I like moderation.
I like that.
All things in moderation, except for, the really, really bad ones. Don't do those.
Oh, yep. For the bok choy, we're going to pretty much get rid of the icky part, the root, and then separate the leaves from the stems, which is pretty much what you're always going to do with bok choy.
That and scallions. Almost always separate the leaves from the stems.
Yep. If you want to get started on that, I'll do the apple.
Absolutely.
And we'll just get a little bit closer to it. Chop, chop, as they say.
And the root of bok choy, like this has a little bruise on it or something, but the root of bok choy, like when you cut it, it always looks so pretty to me on the inside. It's like a flower.
And some restaurants even make it look like a flower. It comes out as a little centerpiece thing.
I just like it. I just find it attractive.
It is. It's awesome. There's a Thai food place we go to, and it comes out on a centerpiece.
There is. I love that Thai food.
And at first I thought it was something like the chef made. I didn't realize he literally just cut a piece of a plant off and was like, wow, it looks like a flower. Yes, it does.
Never actually met him. I have no idea if he would say voila or not.
I think he would.
Or be male.
Yeah. No, it is a dude. I've seen him in the back there. Now, I don't know if he's the one who literally makes the little flower things, though. He's just the one who brought them to us, so I might give him more credit than I should.
You can probably
Boom.
turn
Is
this
that
down.
getting, yeah, just a little bit. I see it over bubbling over there.
Yeah.
You can also add a little bit of olive oil in there, and it will stop that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you had
bubbling oil.
See bit, because we're gonna add a drizzle anyway, right?
Oh yeah, we definitely are. All right, what do I do with this onion here?
With the onion, we are going to have it, peel it, and medium dice it. So nothing too major.
And I do know we're gonna mix some things into a bowl. Will you look to see what that is? Or you know what? I'll look and see what it is. Or you caught that?
Will I peel that?
Because I do know that's one of the next things.
And just a really quick way, like when you're peeling an onion or a shallot or something with that initial skin, just kind of make an incision like that down the middle, and then it tends to peel off pretty easily.
But we'll do half the breadcrumbs, do the ginger.
Shallots, man.
I just realized something.
What?
This is the curry paste, not the ginger. So we don't have the ginger.
Ew, we don't have ginger.
We don't.
So
I'll make I don't know if it was.
Huh.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you don't get 100% of your thing. Normally we catch this and we get one at the store. We did not. So this, let me see in here.
So this is going to be garlic turkey meatball.
Yep.
Because ginger does not stay fresh that long, and any we had would not be good.
Well, no, I thought maybe it fell out of the bag or something.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, this will be minus the ginger.
But pretend we sliced up ginger.
That's right, and that's pretty much totally different thing. But I will get started on the garlic. Yummy, yummy, which I guess I will use this.
Yes, and if you want to take back over there.
No, I'll just stay right here because I can clear this off easier than I can clear off the other.
Cloves.
Yes. We'll do a garlic paste. Oh.
Actually, two.
What's this guy? Is that the...
that is the potatoes.
Yummy. Let me get out the little strainer medeely.
It's actually called a sieve. Or a strainer.
I call it a strainer medeely. Or a very ineffective face mask.
You'd think he fences the way he uses that, but not so much. At least not that I'm aware of. He could.
Boom. So we'll let this chill out for a little bit. Alright, come back to this.
Back to the garlics. Because there are multiple, so.
There are. In fact, really, if you want to do some while I do some, we can catch up on that. What do we do to those potatoes once they cool?
I think they get added to the chutney later, so they're probably just gonna hang out there for right now.
Oh, we don't smash them up or nothing?
No.
No smashy. I like the smashy.
They're gonna go into the chutney hole, and that doesn't happen until the fond, so.
Got a little bit of time on that.
Added the turkey yet. We have a minute on the fond. Okay, that was already peeled, guys. Not gonna lie. Let me see what we're doing now. I'm gonna get started on the turkey.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the next step.
It is.
All right,
pull that out.
Let me start working with that protein.
Yummy turkey. Yummy, gobble.
Lovely protein.
Not even Thanksgiving.
Hey y'all, I don't work with meat much, and I never work with turkey. So this is a new experience since I was a child when everything we ate had to be turkey. So I
What do you mean everything you ate had to be turkey?
My dad was on a low cholesterol diet, and at that time, the word of law in the cholesterol cookbook, which we literally owned, everything was turkey. We had turkey bacon, we had turkey in place of ground beef, we had turkey in place of chicken. Like everything was turkey.
That's awesome.
So yes, I ate a lot of turkey growing up.
Turkey. Oh, I love turkey. Turkey and dressing being my favorite, of course.
That's true. David does love some turkey and dressing.
I do. A couple spots around town that do it right. It's going to be one of those things we're going to learn how to do. Maybe this Thanksgiving episode.
That would be so fun.
Do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
I've never made a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, like,
really?
Entirely. Oh yeah, y'all can watch me have multiple anxiety attacks and cry on camera. It'll be fun.
No, it's only like that when you're doing it for other people. When it's for you can kind of be like, I don't care.
That's true.
Set that bird on fire.
At least Gerald, David, and I can laugh at our mistakes.
Yeah, it's only like that when it's because you have all these people coming from out of town. You know what I mean? You spend all this money. But honestly, once you get used to how to defrost and deal with the bird, that's the hardest part. Sides are sides.
It'll be an organic, free-range turkey that lived a really happy life and then unsuspectingly got whacked.
His name was Samuel, and it was his time. He chose to go. All right.
He chose to go. He walked up to the farmer and said, "It's been a good life."
So here are the breadcrumbs. Here's the garlic paste, and it goes.
Okay, I think I just combined this. I don't even think I have to pat it dry.
I don't think so either, depending on what it looks like. Let me see this right here real quick. Give myself the instructions.
I was just looking at them.
Oh, were you? Yeah. Good.
So it's just combine the turkey.
You want to bowl combine the turkey, garlic paste, chopped ginger, half the breadcrumbs. Salt and pepper. That's what I was meaning. Okay. Salt and pepper.
I'm gonna. My hands are.
So you're the.
Are protein.
Right. I'll put in some salt and pepper. Then she'll do the turkey balls. Turkey meatballs, I should say.
He likes turkey balls better than turkey meatballs. And I mean, that is a title for the dish, okay? Yeah. But that is why I was trying to get him to say turkey meatballs, which has obviously not worked out. So we're just going to go with turkey balls.
We are.
We left out the ginger. They're now garlic turkey balls.
Oh, should we be getting this up to temperature?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. We've got to roll them out anyway, so it'll be up by that. It won't take
long. It won't. Okay. You'll see how I do it.
Oh, you have a method?
I do. So put a little bit of oil on that guy.
So is it kind of meatloafy? I feel like it's kind of meatloafy almost.
Well, it depends on whether or not this sticks together well, and I think it will, because just looking at it.
And we can add more breadcrumbs. They don't go in anything else.
How many of these are supposed to make?
10.
10. So I'm pretty much, you can see right here, just kind of, I just come over here, I can come to you.
Don't you want to mix it all in together first?
I will, but I'm going to make the ball and then kind of roll it in there. What does it say to do?
It's mix it all together and then form the meatballs.
Oh, I see.
That's like the traditional method.
Not make the meatballs and coat it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, and that's what we're going to do. I was thinking something else. But yeah, we're going to mix it all in there. So I'm just going to throw this in.
Which is how my mother made meatloaf too. So that's why I feel like I'm like getting meatloaf flashbacks. Of like putting your hands in and like mixing up all the stuff together. That was always kind of for me.
Oh, you didn't like it? Meatloaf is awesome. Nothing better than a good meatloaf.
I've never been a super big fan of meat, period. Like, it's never, I could give it, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
If you will do me a favor, with your clean hand, grab this right here. We're going to take it over there so the camera can see it. Yep. There we go.
What a good idea. Let me do this.
There we go. Now I can kind of get in here. Yeah, you're pretty much just mixing it together. Kind of pretend like you're making one giant meatball, really.
Yeah, for sure.
You kind of just knead it and get in there. It's really malleable. It wants to take the shape you're going to give it. This isn't really that hard. Sometimes stuff fights you and like a meatball or something won't hold, or a hamburger patty won't hold. If that happens with a hamburger patty, you can add an egg to it. And it will really effectively hold its shape. And that's really useful too if you're making like a cheese-filled hamburgers or something. So this is supposed to make 10 of these, right?
Yeah, so they're going to be way smaller than that.
Well, that's why I was asking.
Yeah. And with this, if it wasn't holding its shape the way that you wanted it to, you could always add more breadcrumbs.
Oh, yeah.
It said to add about half, but basically anything that's going to absorb that moisture, unless you get it too dry, should help it, like, stick together.
Where do the other half of breadcrumbs end up?
Nowhere. They're just extra.
And
begs the question, why send the whole portion? But maybe
it's probably the way it's measured out or the way they have to, or maybe more people like a lot. And so they'll give you that option.
I would rather have a little bit extra than like not enough.
So. And I think that's the thought process.
Yeah.
And usually they're pretty good about sending ginger and stuff like that too. That is not par for the course.
It happens every now and then. I will give the service that we've been using. They're very good with customer service.
They're
so
awesome.
if I have written them and said, this didn't come in a good way,
no,
or
really
whatever,
good,
they've always made it right.
Yeah,
I've never been mad at them.
No, no, they've always been really good. So this is coming along, making these guys. Boom, they're sticking well together. They are. I don't know how you'd ever make 10 out of this.
They're very, very tiny.
Maybe I'll break these all in half, and they're just super tiny?
Mini meatballs.
Are they supposed to be like...
No, I mean, they're supposed to be 10. That's what it says.
Or maybe I'm not compressing them enough or something, but... No, in order to get 10, I'm going to break these in half, and then we will have 10. Because I bet that's it. And they'll cook better the smaller they are, too. It won't take as long.
Well, and they'll cook according to the directions. That's really the thing that gets me. Is because, if we make fewer, then we're messing with timing, and it gets a little more complicated. It's doable if you really want giant meatballs, but...
Yeah, but it's easier the smaller they are. So I'm gonna trim these down a little bit.
And it's cool that you made 5, so you can just break them in half.
Mm-hmm. Or pretty close, too, anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll get pretty close to the ballpark of what they're planning, I think.
Yeah.
Boom, there we go. It smells delicious because of the garlic, of course, that we way overdid, as always.
Because that's what makes it so good.
That is what makes it so good.
And
that's
also,
how we roll.
Again, garlic is good for you. So, if you're going to eat an apple core, eat some garlic.
That's right. Do it up. Do it up. All right. Will you switch around that oil? Is it about
yeah, I just did, but I will do it again.
Oh, there we go.
It's good to go.
So we just add this to it? What's the timer need to be?
So the timer is going to be, I think it's 6 to 8 minutes. Cook without stirring for 6 to 7 minutes.
Oh, in a single row or whatever?
Yeah, in a single layer.
Oh. Sizzle, sizzle, pop,
pop. And we're going to cover them.
What should the temperature be at?
It just says medium high as always, but I'm double checking. Medium.
Okay, so medium. Let's cut this guy down to about halfers.
Okay.
Or maybe a little notch.
There we go.
So you put it on medium. The skillet's going. You can hear it sizzle.
Go ahead and get that started because some of them are on.
Look, they're already starting to stick to the pan, though. We put more oil in there, real quick.
You want some spray?
Anything, but it has to be done fast. It's happening right now. Will you get a spatula and just kind of slightly put it under there? She's gonna do a little emergency operations. If it's ever really sticking bad, just get in there and get a spatula under it, and that will save it. If you let it go too far, though, you'll burn that. I think it's because we had the temperature just up a little bit too high, but she's getting it. It's coming off good. As long as you do it right away, you're fine. It'll form a firm bottom, at which point it will sit. You lower the temperature a little bit, so that's a good save. There you go. And even sometimes a spoon is sometimes better.
Yeah. Like sticking.
Well, they always say put it on medium high, and that's almost pretty much always not what you want to do.
Oh, that's true. We almost never put it on medium.
No, it just doesn't work out. And I honestly don't know why it even. I don't understand. So we need a little bit more oil in here. And we need to turn the heat down even still a little bit.
Okay.
Other than that, and then we're going to cover it like it said for the instructions to make sure it gets cooked a little bit more on the inside. Because at this point, you're using more of the steam to cook it than you are the actual. While that's happening, we can wash this go thing out.
And those guys are still going to stay in there another 6 to 7 minutes, I think, even after this time.
That's true. They're in there for a good minute.
They're not coming right out or anything. If you need to cook them a little bit longer, that's fine too. They do look really cute under the lid there, though, in their little rows.
They do.
I like it.
I'm going to take it off the heat for a second to let that pan come down to what I think it should be. We're going to start doing it from the low and slow. I think we had that just a little bit too high. And I don't know. We're going to have to back it up and come back to it a little. Just because I'm afraid that if these burn too much, they're going to break apart. We won't be able to extract them proper. I had this problem before. Last time we tried to do meatballs of some sort.
Oh, that's right.
I think they were of lamb. But either way, so I've come up with some tactics to kind of stop that last downfall, to kind of learn from my mistakes. And that was the main thing. The main thing was that the temperature was just way too high. Another thing that helps too is sometimes using a spoon to get in there rather than the spatula, because this will give you a little better angle on something curved and spherical.
I can probably go back on the meat now. I'm just gonna add a minute to that.
Yeah, and so she adjusted the time, but now this is perfect. They are no longer sticking. When I hit them, they roll, and that's what you want. You want it to be able to be like movable. You shouldn't have to fight it. You shouldn't have to. Boom.
Well, like you said, once they kind of form that crust on the bottom, you should be able to move it pretty easily.
But I still had to reduce the heat. We had it at a medium-high. We took it down to a medium. We're now going to recover. I think we're good. And she added another minute back to the timer.
I did.
I'm going to wash this little duder.
So they're on for about the same amount of time that they were when we left them.
So that's awesome. What do we need to do as far as the veggies? What's next there?
Let's see. Those are just waiting for the meatballs to come out, actually.
Awesome. Awesome.
Then the onion, the bok choy stems are going to go in. We're going to cook those for a while. Then the apple and the sweet potato, we'll cook those.
Awesome.
We'll add the curry paste, the soy sauce, water, and last of all, the bok choy leaves.
So at this point, everything is pretty much waiting on that. I'm going to medium dice these guys a little bit more.
Okay. Gerald, David, and I both love like raw white onions, so it is not a problem for us if it's a little bit bigger rather than, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much just doing this to what I consider bite size. So when you pull one, it doesn't pull a whole bunch of other stuff out. Like in a hamburger, you know what I mean? It's awesome to have a big whole onion in there, but sometimes when you bite it, it then pulls everything off on your lap.
It's always fun.
This is delicious. So we got this guy. This, I guess, is left over. So we won't even really use that. That's some extras.
We actually have a box of panko up there if you want to add that to it, but...
No, I don't like cross-contamination. Once it's out of the box, it's out of the box. Things out of the box shouldn't go back in the box. In this kind of germaphobe world we live in, that's called controlling cross-contamination. I learn things on the interwebs. I do learn sometimes. I just like to complain about it. Being smart is hard, but it is our responsibility. That's all the PSA you get. Those are good. I love some onions. Now does this just go on at the end?
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that just like a little bit of garnish?
Garnish. Yeah, garnish with sesame seeds.
That's easy to predict. What about the creme fraiche? When does that mix in?
So once we have added the bok choy leaves at the very end to the vegetables, we're gonna cook those for a minute or two, and when we turn the heat off, that is, I believe, when the creme fraiche goes in.
The best spice is hunger. Like if you ever just want to get a couple bonus points on your barbecue, have very small sides. You know what I mean? Have very small appetizers. Everyone will be starving when they get to your barbecue. They're like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever."
Here's another thing, like if you have a food that you have an aversion to, but like you feel like you should be eating because it's healthy, just wait till you get really, really hungry a few times and eat it, and eventually you'll probably learn to like that food.
Well, especially after like a hard day work, you come in, you eat it because you're just grateful for the nourishment, and your body has different measurements when it's in need versus when you're sitting, you know, high in the hog of being all, you know, emperor in his new clothes and whatnot. Judgy.
I think it's one of the ways I learned to love celery. Dieting as an 8th grader was hard.
And peanut butter.
Well, I don't put anything on my celery, but
well,
peanut butter's good anyway.
That's a train with no passengers. You know what I mean? Like it looks like we're down to 13 seconds.
Oh,
is that for the meatballs?
Yes, that is for the initial cook time on the meatballs. What we're gonna do when that goes off is
mix in.
Continue to cook, stirring occasionally for 6 to 8 minutes.
Oh, and that's it? It doesn't get nothing mixed in?
Nope.
Alright, we're going to put it in for another 6 minutes, and now we're going to stir occasionally.
I'm going to put it in for 7 now. Eventually, when I get that right. There we go.
Oh, and just to give you guys a sneak peek, sizzle, you can tell they're not done. There's no part of this that should look done.
No, If your mind is saying, those look done, like, please take some cooking classes. Or buy a meat thermometer, because that is not done.
But now they're solid enough where you can kind of move them around and they move like meatballs.
And you can kind of see, like, I don't know if you can, but on the bottom, if you want to show them, like, you can kind of see where they formed a crust where they were sitting or whatever. And that's why they're able to, like, easily move around. And that's, like, basically exactly what you want on a meatball. It's beautiful golden brown, like, little crust.
Yeah, these are turning out delicious. I can smell them.
You were totally right about lowering the heat and everything. For
Man,
sure.
yeah. It takes a little while because last time we tried this, it did not go this way. They kind of stuck to the pan. They fell apart. It was still delicious, but we couldn't call them meatballs. They were just meat piles. You know, which had their own kind of Walking Dead themed flavor to them.
Yeah, we just had meatballs that night. It was delicious.
When you and your friends just watch as much TV as we do, as big of film fans as we are, you just theme anything after a movie and it's a win. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If your barbecue's bad, it's fried green tomatoes good. You know, don't ever lose that spin. Because with food, it's still nourishment. Pizza's always pizza. You know what I mean? So delicious.
I mean, Italians might execute you for that, but sure.
No, they won't. There's bad pizza in Italy. There's also incredibly good pizza in Italy.
I believe that because there's such good pizza, there would have to then be bad pizza.
Oh yeah, but also it's a little bit different there. There, a lot of the little cafes, they've got pizza cold for breakfast in the morning, and it's not like leftover or whatever. It's just like default.
I love cold pizza.
Yeah, they treat it totally different than we do.
Provided it's not dough, I'm good with it.
And people argue about like who invented it or whatever. When I ate at Don Matteo's in Napoli, it was one of the places that claimed to have invented pizza, and their stuff was amazing. And it's like a little thatched, like not thatched, but it's a very small, like cubby on the sidewalk, and it's right outside the a chapel that has access to the Sotterraneo, which is like a piece of subterranean land bought for like scientific purposes where the Roman aqueducts are, because there's stuff all under Napoli, but not all of it's like open access. You have to like buy it just like you buy anything or get permission to go there, depending if it's municipal or privately owned. Almost every home in Napoli has a trap door going underground.
That's cool.
And almost most of them don't know where it goes until you don't go down there. You know what I mean? So that stuff's up for control. But during this time, and this is on Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel teamed up with a bunch of scientists, and they bought like a mile under Napoli. And they're experimenting with different types of things. And so I'll never forget it, because that's what I was waiting for. It was that tour. And I was like, oh, it's going to be so awesome. And I'm at this little place. I'm like, why is this little place have all, like, Bill Clinton's picture, like, all the president's pictures? Everyone, I guess, comes to Rome has to have this pizza. And they fold it. Like, you get in line, and it's fast. You know what I mean? It's carry-out only. There's no seats, no tables. There's no walls, really. It's just this, like, little, it's almost like what you'd see selling newspapers out of in New York. You know what I mean? Like a little stand.
So cute.
And they have a little pizza, and they fold it 4 ways, so it almost comes out like a pocket, and you eat it right there, and it's amazing. You know what I mean? Someone sold their soul for that sauce recipe. It's not normal. It's not replicable. It's not something you can replicate. You know, whatever word I can't get right now.
We will try at some point, though.
Oh, man.
Maybe we'll make Napoli-style pizza.
Default, though, the best pizza I have ever had on this planet. It was a marguerite, real simple, but the sauce was perfection, the dough was perfection, the cheese was perfection, and the fact that they could replicate perfection repetitively was amazing. Like, it really showed that with consistency and good quality ingredients, man, you can do this.
And potentially time, because I'm betting they've been there a while.
Well, and it's also about not capitulating. You know, a lot of companies are really great when they first open. A lot of companies are really good, a lot of restaurants are really good with their ingredients when they first open. Then about 6 months in, they'll start to supplement. They want to increase their profit margin. And one of the ways you increase your profit margin is to reduce cost. And they'll reduce cost by getting subpar ingredients. So one of your favorite restaurants will flip. The name's the same, the chef in the back is the same, but the food tastes different. You're not crazy. That's someone trying to make a buck.
It didn't say to cover them again. I'm sure you can if you want to.
Oh, it didn't?
But it did say to like cook them until they're browned on all sides and cooked through. So
you're getting close.
If you were just trying to get them to like hit all sides, if there's one that's like kind of not brown, maybe we want to put that down now on the.
No, and I definitely am trying. They're round, so it's not the easiest thing.
No, and I know. Like I was looking at that too.
No, and I think I am going to put the cover on it though, because the cover helps the heat get to the center of it.
Gerald David does not care if it says to cover it or not. We're probably going to at some point. It also keeps moisture in, so
especially
we're
with
willing
meat.
to do that.
Yeah, with meat, it's a good combination. It's almost like a sous vide a little bit, which is like some fancy, weird way to do a steak. We will cover one day, because it actually turns it pretty delicious.
It's a style of cooking, or it's a way of cooking. So it's not just steak. You can do like a lot of things.
Oh yeah, you can do anything.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Ooh, turkey meatballs. These look delicious.
They do look really good. And they smell really good too.
Ooh, they do smell really good.
Ooh, and they got all nice and brown.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie.
Pretty gold crust on there.
They do. They look, oh, that looks fantastic. And what I'm going to do is just make sure, because it's a meatball, this isn't a steak, right? So you just take one of them.
One of the bigger ones.
Yeah, smash that guy in half. See how he's all brown and looks delicious. I can't get them on there, but take my word for it. These guys are ready.
So we will be eating these. Yes. So, like, trust that they're done.
And as with any ground meat, you want to really make sure they are done. You don't want to take the liberties with it you would steak.
All right, so we're about to jump in that pond there that Gerald David's getting up there.
What goes in next?
So what is going to go in first is the diced onion and sliced bok choy stems.
All right.
Boom. Oh, thank you.
As Kitty taught us to use the back of the knife to save the blade. Ooh, they're getting a little weird. There we go.
Everything's trying to escape tonight. I don't know what to do.
I know. It's like the food knows we're going to eat it.
It's like it doesn't want to be eaten.
There's a movie. What was it called? I don't remember. It was hilarious. And Fruit talked. So this, and that's the stems?
Yes, those are the stems.
Boom.
That's a big heat.
Boom. And how long these go in?
All right, those are going to go in for 1 to 2 minutes. So we'll do 2 minutes.
And what should the heat be on?
There's no adjustment to the heat.
All right. Should I add salt and pepper?
Yes, of course.
I thought it was weird they hadn't asked me to.
What's the first thing I always say to do?
That's all right. So add a little salt and pepper.
And it's going to tell you this like every step of the way. So
it pretty much
just
does.
watch your salt intake is all I'll say. Pepper is like pretty harmless, but salt is.
And because it does it every step of the way is why she's pretty much really adamant that I do watch and I don't, put in too much because it's going to have you do it 3 or 4 different times. And remember, you can always add it at the end of the meal. So you've never
and
missed
have it on the table if one of you is really into salt and the other person's like, I'm not super good with salt forward food. Like, it can be on the table too, and that's fine.
That's true.
So that is looking yummy. We've got about a minute left on there. And then when that is up, we're going to add the apple and sweet potato and continue to cook. Oh, guess what's going on the apple and sweet potato?
Salt and pepper.
Oh my gosh, you're psychic.
I'm so smart. I'm so smart. At least that was an option game, though. We had choices to pick from.
Oh, that's true. It could have been panko breadcrumbs. Who knows?
Yeah. Show the camera this guy a little bit. Yummy, yummy.
Get some of that going.
So delicious.
And honestly, I don't think those need to be stirred for too much.
No, I just do it to make sure they're coated.
Actually, it does say stirring frequently, so
oh, does it?
wrong.
There you go.
Usually it's like stirring occasionally, or maybe look at it twice, but like this one says frequently, so.
And I like to stir it just to get the oil on everything, because that's going to stop it from burning and get that flavor consistently throughout every bite. A little bit of science. Science. We've been watching a lot of Big Bang Theory.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
So we're all about science now.
That makes me
Boom,
happy.
pow, the chemistry of it. She's way better at that stuff than I am. She's a lot better about knowing what pairs with what and what's going to be good. I'm going to be like, that's gross. And they're like, it won't be. It'll be delicious. It's so much fun.
That is also because, ooh, yay.
So we had salt and pepper and what?
The apple and the sweet potato. And I was like, why can I not think of what else? I'm like, it's not the leaves, it's not the curry paste. It's because the sweet potatoes are over here still in the drainer.
Oh, yeah?
The sieve. So we're going to add apples and then those sweet potatoes that we did earlier that I totally forgot about, obviously. And we're going to throw those in. And we could turn that heat up a little since those apples aren't grated.
Getting that salt and pepper in there.
I'm going to go ahead and wash this. Ooh, the sweet potatoes are good. They still have a little bit of bite to them, like a little bit of crisp, so that's nice.
So I added some salt and pepper. Stir this up. I am going to increase the heat just a little bit, just a little pinch.
Just a pinch of heat. I have not heard that before.
Yeah, just a pinch of heat, just a little bit.
A drizzle of heat.
That's right. Not full Tijuana truck stop, not quite South Houston barbecue pit. A little bit north of Philadelphia Hollows. There you go. Boom.
I'm so confused as to what is hot in that scenario. Like, what's the hottest? Like,
hot is its own language. You got to speak to a linguist and learn to decipher it. I prefer to hire them either out of one of the Carolinas or Texas. Boom. They know all about the heats. Do I have to put a cover on this or anything?
No, you just want to cook stirring frequently for another 2 minutes.
Boom.
And then we're going to add the curry paste and cook for a minute. And then we're going to add the soy sauce and a little bit of water and cook for a minute.
Okay.
And then the bok choy leaves go in and we're almost done.
We are. I'm going to wash out this guy.
I have a lot of little bits this time. I like it.
There are. I like it. And the turkey looks so good.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So does that chutney though.
Now, when was the last time you made turkey? I know you don't ever do it, so for me it wasn't that long ago. What about for you? No Thanksgiving dinners helping your mom?
Well, since I've been vegetarian, I don't really help with the turkey.
I guess that's true, huh? She's not over there making you participate, you don't even eat it?
No, well, it's not like we stuff it or anything, you know, like she bastes it, like puts some vegetables around it, but it's, you know.
Stuffing it's the hard part. That's the icky part.
Yeah, I know.
The basting's the fun part. That's the good stuff. Because you just bathe it and it looks all golden and delightful. It's so good.
We have some good turkeys at holidays. I'm just not entirely sure where they come from, and I'm okay with that. So.
That's true. That's true. This is going to be so yummy. And it's very colorful. You got all the orange and the green. I like that. So
and
delicious.
Just a note on stuffing turkeys for Thanksgiving. I have heard, and I have not vetted this, but I've heard that it's not super healthy because it is hard to get the interior clean, and then it doesn't cook as evenly or as well, potentially.
Really?
So there's some sort of like cross-contamination reason that you don't want to stuff a turkey, so our stuffing's always on the side, which I'm fine with anyway.
I did not know that. Yeah, we typically carve ours, and I think it's just easier because our Thanksgiving we do it kind of buffet style. It's not the centerpiece carved thing, which looks really good, especially for photographs. It looks incredible. You know, when you have someone, then it kind of feels like an honor because you get chosen to carve the turkey, and that's like a big deal. Like, you, sir. That's just like, what was that with Chevy Chase? Oh.
I don't know. This actually looks very Thanksgiving-y, though. As
It
you're
does.
talking, I'm like looking at it going, like,
It
I
does.
would make this for Thanksgiving.
So the timer's gone off. What are we adding? Curry?
Yes, we're going to add the curry paste.
Boom.
Yeah.
Smash that up good. Anything else?
I think the 3/4 cup water is coming.
And now we do it for 30 seconds to a minute, and that timer's going. So set your timer for 30 seconds to a minute for the curry paste.
I'm trying not to kill y'all chopping this up here.
Oh, with the sound or
And then,
whatever?
yeah.
There you go. No, I think you're doing good.
I've
You're
done
doing good.
I've done a couple things before, and I've been like, oh, like watching it later, I'm like, oh, that was like really loud.
So loud. So loud.
I'm going to let you give that a shot, because I don't know how well I'm getting that chopped
No, I
up.
thought you were doing good.
And my wrist is tired.
Oh, well that...
You have manly wrists. You can... Not that women can't have the same. Mine are just not as, you know, manly as his, so.
They don't have to be the same. Not everything's got to be the same. If we were all on the left side of the plane, it'd flip. That's truth. That's physics. That's science.
And if you see, I sell like a chunk of curry powder over
Where?
there, or curry paste. Like,
I
I'm just
see
saying,
that.
if you see it, like, make sure it gets ground up. Because nobody wants like a full-on mouthful of curry paste, I feel like. I don't want a full-on mouthful of curry paste.
No, you don't want to do that.
I want it as a
Oh,
spice.
there's that. What do we want now? Soy sauce?
Yes, the soy sauce and some water. We're not going to add as much as it says because it tends to
How
make
much does
things
it say?
incredibly runny. It says 3/4 cup, so I'd add maybe a 1/4 cup.
So 1/4, is that what we're doing?
Yep, we'll start with that. If we need to add more, we can.
And what this will do is kind of help steam and help kind of get some of this going.
So we're also going to stir that for 1 to 2 minutes. So we'll do it for...
Set your timer for 1 to 2 minutes. I'd
It
say
says-
probably 2 minutes.
Or
Yeah.
until the liquid is slightly thickened, which is why we don't add the whole 3/4 cup, because when we have, we have
Takes
had to turn it
forever.
way up and stand there for like 10 minutes to get it to
And the stuff
thicken.
is, yeah, and it's already soft, so it's not like
Yeah.
it was achieving, in our opinion. We might be
Right.
wrong. There might be something we missed. Tell us in the comments. When do we add that?
Also, texturally for us, like we just like it a little not as mushy.
Yeah.
So the longer it sits on there, the softer it gets. The bok choy leaves are going to go in next, and that
Okay.
is the last component that we're actually cooking.
Oh,
It's going to be
awesome.
30 seconds to a minute. Then we're going to turn off the heat, add the creme fraiche, and then plate.
And it gets mixed into this?
Yeah. Which will be delicious. I love creme fraiche and things. It just gives it that like cream saucy effect.
Perfect.
And I love a good cream sauce.
Mm-hmm. Creme fraiche. Oh, this is going to be so good. And it's already, you can tell there's a lot in the pan. It's a lot of food. And it's already almost there.
It is. So I'm super excited about this because the veggies just look really good.
Mm-hmm. There's so many, you won't even stay inside the pan. They're like flying everywhere. It's like
We
a whole
could
veggie
probably
thing over
like
here.
pull them off the edge instead of batting them out of it. But
No, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
I'm catching on to that.
It's the Thunderdome over here, man. You gotta hold on, get on.
I did ask him to cook those, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to give him too hard a time because
Yeah.
I could be doing it myself.
We're gonna call it at 1:30. So
Okay.
we can count that. Because it's thickened up to what it wanted. Now we'll
Perfect.
add that.
Yep, we're gonna
and the
add
creme
these.
fraiche.
Well, not till after this. We're going to.
Oh, this is first? Okay. I didn't know that.
We're gonna let those soften and cook for a minute.
So this is the bok choy.
Mm-hmm.
And how long are we setting that for?
30 seconds to a minute.
Okay.
So honestly, we might call it at 30 seconds, but I've got a minute on there.
Awesome.
Just because those are looking pretty soft at this point.
They are.
But you do want the bok choy leaves to wilt some. You don't want to be like...
absolutely.
I'm not as fond of eating those fresh as certain other greens. And greens like this do not take long to like kind of wilt a little bit, and that's really all you want is for them to kind of wilt and just lose a little bit of that initial bite. And those seem to be doing it pretty well.
They are. Boom. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Mm-hmm.
So the creme fraiche is going to be next.
Yes.
Whew. I'm going to go ahead and add this. We're like 20 seconds shy, but I think that's about right.
That should not go on the heat though, because I am afraid it'll curdle.
So we want to turn it off the heat?
Yeah, turn off the heat and then add the creme fraiche and stir it in.
We've turned it off. We're now moving into another eye.
Yep. And it probably would have been okay, honestly, but like stuff like that, it ruins the whole thing if it curdles. So maybe rather be a little safe than sorry on that one.
That's true.
Because once you've got it on the vegetables, it's like, you can't get all of it off. It's kind of... And it would be really sad because this looks really good. So.
And let us know in the comments if you know the science behind that. If you know like what temperature,
sure.
what is affected by what.
We're always interested in some knowledge. Feel free to drop it in the comment section.
So this just goes down. What's next?
We're plating. Serve the finished curry topped with the cooked meatballs and garnished with sesame seeds. And that's it.
Awesome. All right.
So yeah, let's plate that sucker. There you go.
If you'll wipe that off for me.
Absolutely.
As I continue to stir this. Boom. Boom. And then we'll get the plating going. Look how colorful that is. That's so nice.
It is really, really pretty.
So perfect.
And again, the more colors you have in your meal, the better it tends to be for you. There we go.
A little pepper dust off on there. So this guy.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't have great spatial awareness, so.
And it's hard when I'm so big.
No, you're perfect.
Shaboom. Meatballs.
You heard it.
So many yummy meatballs. And we know there's 10, so 5 per. Don't be stingy.
But mine could be like little, and I'm okay with that. Or
The,
like there you
boom.
go. I'm good.
Alright, we'll leave that guy right there.
Beautiful.
Then we'll do the next one up.
Like the way you cleared that?
So weird. That's so weird, right?
No, that was smart. I'm like, oh, I need another container for these. What's dirty?
Boom, boom. There we go.
I'll take a little more of that if you don't want yours. Yay, thank you.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh, that looks so good. That looks
does.
so good.
I'm very excited about this.
Alright, we'll come back to that. Let me, oh, I see.
Okay, so our stove is a war zone.
It is.
That is okay. It all wipes right off, but it's cracking me up right now.
No, it does. And normally we clean as we go, so we're not used to that. I'm over there, and my OCD is like, man, I gotta clean that real quick. But we'll get to it shortly.
I guess I don't want to turn on the water and all right now.
Boom, look at this guy. Oh, these are so good. They turned out so well.
They did. You did a great job with those.
Especially compared to last time. It was such a different state of affairs. Last time I was really disappointed. Because I love meatballs, you know, it's part of a little bit of the heritage. And I've never really had a problem with them, so I was really kind of taken aback when we had such an issue.
But again, meat piles were interesting too, so.
They tasted good.
There you go.
They did taste good.
Look, the steam is just like wafting perfectly off of this. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it was like the perfect little like, it would have been amazing if I could have caught it photographically.
I like that. I like that. Just kind of clean it up a little bit.
I'm going to garnish with the sesame seeds while he's doing that.
Even better, because I forgot about the sesame seeds. Perfect.
Gives it a little crunch, a little texture. Oh, that was maybe a little much. Oh, and yeah. All right, I was trying to help. It didn't work out.
You go, kitty. What would have been ginger and garlic, hold it just a little bit lower. Ginger and garlic, but we forgot the ginger. Sorry about that. So garlic, turkey meatballs. Quite yummy.
With sweet potato and apple chutney.
That's right. I'm Gerald David.
And I'm Kitty.
And this is 2Aprons. Isn't this yummy?
Okay,
I almost lost one of my meatballs. Getting very close. Getting very close.